Every achievement begins in the same place. Before it becomes a business, an invention, or a change in someone's life, it begins as a thought. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill spent more than 20 years studying successful people to understand one question: what is the difference between people who achieve their goals and people who never move beyond wishing? The answer he discovered was not simply intelligence, education, or luck. It was a combination of definite purpose, desire, belief, persistence, and organized action. These are my notes from the first 5 chapters of Think and Grow Rich. Chapter 1: Thoughts are Things. The foundation of the book begins with one principle: thoughts are things. Napoleon Hill explains that every achievement starts as an idea held in the mind. A person first creates a mental picture of what they want before they create it in reality. This principle can be seen throughout history. Thomas Edison imagined the possibility of practical electric light before the technology existed. The Wright brothers believed human flight was possible before the world accepted it. The achievement appeared in the physical world only after it existed as a clear idea in someone's mind. However, Hill does not suggest that thoughts alone create success. A thought becomes powerful when it is combined with a definite purpose, faith, and persistent action. A person with no clear direction may have many ideas but little progress. A person with a focused purpose can organize their efforts toward a specific outcome. The first lesson of the book is: your dominant thoughts influence the direction of your actions. Chapter 2: Desire, the starting point of all achievement. Napoleon Hill begins this chapter with one of the most important statements in the book. The starting point of all achievement is desire. But Hill explains that desire is not a simple wish. A wish is passive. A burning desire is a definite decision supported by commitment. To explain this idea, Hill shares the story of Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes had a strong desire to become a business associate of Thomas Edison. The challenge was that he did not have wealth, influence, or an existing relationship with Edison, but he had a clear purpose. He traveled to meet Edison, determined to find a way to work with him. When he arrived, he was not immediately given the partnership he imagined. Instead, he began working with Edison. For years, he continued carrying the same goal in his mind. Eventually, an opportunity appeared involving Edison's invention, the Edison dictating machine. Barnes became the person who successfully introduced and sold the product. His opportunity came because he had prepared himself and remained committed to his goal. The lesson was not that desire magically creates results. The lesson was that a definite desire creates persistence, and persistence increases the possibility of recognizing and acting on opportunities. Hill then explained 6 practical steps for transforming desire into reality. First, decide exactly what you want. A clear objective gives your mind a direction. Second, determine what you are willing to give in return. Achievement requires value, effort, service, or skill. Third, establish a definite date for achieving your goal. A timeline creates commitment. Fourth, create a definite plan and begin immediately. Action turns an idea into progress. Fifth, write a clear statement of your desire. A written goal creates a physical reminder of your intention. Sixth, read your written statement twice daily. Repeated focus helps maintain commitment toward the goal. Chapter 3: Faith, Visualization, and Belief in Achievement. The third chapter explores the role of faith. Hill describes faith as a state of mind that gives power and direction to thoughts. Before a goal becomes reality, there is usually a period where there is no visible evidence that it will happen. This is where belief becomes important. One example often connected with this principle is the story of R.U. Darby. Darby became involved in gold mining after discovering a promising opportunity. He invested in equipment and began searching for gold. Eventually, he discovered a vein of gold and continued mining. However, after difficulties appeared, he became discouraged and stopped. He sold his equipment. The person who purchased the equipment later consulted a mining engineer. The engineer discovered that the original location was close to a much larger gold deposit. Darby had stopped before reaching the opportunity. Hill uses this story to explain the importance of persistence and maintaining belief during temporary difficulties. Many people abandon their goals when results are delayed. Faith allows a person to continue working toward a goal despite uncertainty. Chapter 4: Autosuggestion: Influencing the Subconscious Mind. In this chapter, Napoleon Hill explains how repeated thoughts influence the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind accepts ideas that are repeatedly presented with emotion and belief. This is why the thoughts a person consistently focuses on become important. A person who repeatedly thinks about possibility, growth, and solutions develops a different mindset from someone who constantly focuses on limitations. Hill suggests that consciously choosing your thoughts is essential because repeated ideas influence behavior. The principle is simple. What you repeatedly impress upon your mind can influence the actions you take. Autosuggestion is not about pretending problems do not exist. It is about directing your mind toward the beliefs and actions that support your goals. Chapter 5: Specialized Knowledge: Personal Experiences and Observations. The fifth chapter explains that general knowledge alone does not create achievement. Knowledge becomes valuable when it is organized and applied toward a definite purpose. Napoleon Hill uses Henry Ford as an example. Ford was not known for having extensive formal education. However, he understood how to obtain specialized knowledge from others. Instead of trying to know everything himself, he surrounded himself with people who had expertise in areas required for his vision. The lesson is that successful people understand how to acquire and apply knowledge. In the modern world, information is everywhere. The advantage comes from knowing what knowledge matters and using it effectively. Final reflection. The first 5 chapters of Think and Grow Rich establish the foundation of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. Success begins with a clear thought. A thought becomes powerful through desire. Desire is strengthened by faith. Faith influences the subconscious mind, and knowledge becomes valuable when it is applied. The book is not simply teaching how to make money. It is teaching how to develop the mindset and discipline required to create meaningful results. These were my notes from the first 5 chapters of Think and Grow Rich, a reminder that every external achievement begins internally with an idea, a purpose, and the decision to act.